up YouTube? So in lieu of our new gi version 2.0 that just came out, we're going to do some concepts on collar chokes, collar grips, things that include the gi that can be found in kata. Just think of the gi as a tool, right? It's an extension of his body. It's an article of clothing. It's a coat during winter time. It's a way for you to manipulate him. And a lot of people argue that no gi is like what you need to do all the time because you're not going to wear a gi on the street, but I've never been around people who's shirtless all the time. So there's a positive, there's a benefit to all these. One thing to use the gi for is to manipulate your person's center of gravity, right? So you might see this drill a lot where we're pulling and tugging and we're using this to punch and we're moving his center around and he has to hold his balance. Another thing I can do is actually when I grip onto something, you use that to steer him around. So one grip you can use is this. Reminds me a lot like a nukete, right? Where as I grip and pull down, I'm pulling his center of gravity down and I'm not using my muscle, I'm actually dropping my center and I'm actually anchoring his fist, his sleeve to my fist and just leaning down with it. Now, as he comes up, like you can start manipulating tons of things with this grip, right? You can actually lift him up, you could lift him up this way, get him on his toes so that you can start doing other things. You pull him this way across your body so that you do other attacks as well. As long as you have a solid grip on the guy that's not going to let go, like there's a lot of options you can have.
As we show the setup from cross size, here if you do it starting from the actual grabbing of the gi and the collar, right? So here, same thing, twist it over the top. Good. You can even do the punch across, kind of like stepping through with at the end of some of our katas. Here, grab it on the other side, opposite side, doing a hip toss this way, and trying to get one. So then, we have this. We always do this thing stepping across. If you have hold the gi this way, flip it over there. But we have this movement from Nahanshis, right? So here you're grabbing the gi, and you're lifting up, right? And then you're also moving to the side, right? So if I'm coming here, and I'm moving to the side this way, so just like that. So we have this movement, and cross size. So here, you have your opponent, you're dragging him down. I'm gonna push over the top of his head, kind of like you're doing like a loop choke. And then I'm gonna drop in for a fireman spear, right? So here, I'm gonna push in, drop. So in the katas, we also have a lot of rising elbows. Rising elbows do exist. So we're grabbing across here. Okay, baseball grip. Pushing across. So you wanna make sure that this comes actually across the neck.
Yeah. What's cool about that is the hikite, the pulling hand, is actually pulling the other side of the collar
down
tight. Yeah. So he goes palm up here, this elbow rises up, and this one here you grab wherever, as long as you cinch up the collar on the carotid artery, right? So this side chokes here, this side chokes down, and I pull. So we have another choke using the collar that looks a lot like the penons or anything that goes from cross top to cross down, even the salutes in your katas. Cross hand collar grip. You don't have to get this super deep. Most chokes you do, but this one here, because you're gonna actually choke with this part of the collar, you actually want it kind of loose. And what I'm gonna do with the other hand is I'm gonna go over the top and push his head, his chin into this part of my forearm. So I come here, I go over the top, and I push his head through. And now this arm goes straight down. And what I'm gonna do now is lift this collar up towards the ceiling. So that's that exact same motion as you see in kata. So here you do it fast, boom, swipe, turn.
So here if you're kind of grabbing really deep on the collar, if I can't get across, if he's fidgeting around too much, you can drive the head down or over the top or the back of his neck. And basically I'm holding onto his collar and doing a down block across the other side, right? I'm also not over here. I'm kind of blocking his body off by stepping on this side of him so he can't really move against me, right? I just is blocking him. And then here I'm just gonna down block over the top of his head.
So that same movement, let's say I'm here and he defends, he grabs his arm up. I can actually do that downward block and then raise it over the top, right? So I'm actually gonna start doing all of these movements, right? So I'm here, he defends, I downward block to get that arm off, and I'm gonna keep that anchored so I go over the top, and I do the exact same thing, I salute. And that motion actually feels a lot like that.
We have this kind of a knuckle choke. So if you're grabbing around the collar, right? I'm gonna rotate my hand in. Then I'm gonna grab the other side of the collar and I'm gonna just cover my hand with it so he can't grab it, right? Then I'm just gonna pull, brace myself and pull in there. So it's this one right there. Yeah,
Nahanchi.
Nahanchi, right?
Yeah.
So here, push in, cover my hand with it so he can't even get it, right? Even if it's low, you can still kind of get it. But you're basically bringing it up and over the head.
So another application of this, you can actually grab the inside of your sleeve and then slice the head off from the back as well. You actually do it from the front if you wanted to. If I get to here and I grab and I get my arm through here, this one's making a rope and this one's slicing the neck in the front. So I get this choke. It is actually from Seichin. You can actually do it from the back. If I get to here, he defends that. I can still grab my sleeve because this hand's free. I slice in the front this way. So one thing, I think this is in Shinto, where we go here and we pull in, or even we step back, pull in. I get this grip here, palm on the same side up, cross side, palm down. And instead of rising up to choke him, I'm gonna pull him down and I'm gonna cinch this up and I'm gonna pull this forward. Cinch up. And doing that, I'm pulling his head straight down.
So here we have off an arm drag. You have this deep. You have that. And then if you have actually grip with this hand, you can grab onto the gi, pull it across. The same thing will happen right there.
So what's cool about chokes is you could hold it for about 5 to 7 seconds and the guy's gonna go to sleep, and that kind of neutralizes the entire thing. So Aaron can have that grip on, he goes for the choke, and I can start punching, not so hard, if I can start punching him, and if he counts to 7, I'm gonna be asleep, right? So if it's a tussle, he goes 1, 2, 3, I'm doing all this, even I'm trying to punch his face, 7 and I'm out. So if you have a deep enough choke and you hold on to it, even if you're standing, you're still putting pressure on the karate, you're cutting off the blood circulation, and the guy's gonna go to sleep. And what's cool about standing chokes too is as they struggle, they're gonna get off balance and you actually pull them to the ground too and finish it on the ground. So once the choke's in, the timer starts counting down, right? So as I get to this, 7, 6, he struggles, 5, 4, take him to the ground, 3, 2, 1, and I finish it there, right? And that's all just happening as it gets tighter, tighter, tighter. I'm pulling, he goes to sleep.